Success is to want what you get. No, to get what you want. To get what you want is success. You define what you want and you work for it and you achieve it. Luck is to want what you got, which is just change of words. Instead of to get what you want, to want what you got. It just came to you, says, oh, lucky, I want that. You cannot rely on luck because you cannot predict it, and you cannot control it. So relying on luck in life is not success. And I think that has to do something with management. I have a businessman, very successful businessman, my client, and he said, you know what, a lot of my success I attribute to luck. I said, not so. Because very often luck shows up and you don't see it. You don't even realize that you're lucky. It passes you. Why you don't see it? Because you're so busy with your internal conflicts, with your internal problems, your eyes turn inwards, you don't see luck is in front of you. Many companies have opportunities they miss. Luck brought them an opportunity, they miss. Why? They're busy internal fighting with their partners, fighting with their workers, fighting with the next department next door. They don't see the opportunity. They don't exploit the luck. So it's really not luck. Are you ready to take advantage of luck? Are you ready to take advantage of opportunities? Which means the secret of success is success. If the people want to know more about me, I just published a book, my memoir called The Accordion Player, From Fear to Love. When we left in 1945, we did not tell them we are Jewish. So they will continue believing that we are Muslims.
How do you drive a goal and a belief together?
Businessman, very successful businessman, my client, and he said, you know what, a lot of my success I attribute to luck. I said, not so.
I fundamentally agree with you.
Now, if you do something about the problem, it's not a problem, it's an opportunity. I study music, they sing. It is their music, not my music. You see that? I make them sing. By opening my heart, I open their heart.
Welcome to the Immigrant Nation podcast. I am a very proud host today because I have you in our show. This is why we do what we do, immigrants. We do this because we have our brothers and our sisters who curated the way for us to move forward, who've shown us the path of what it takes to overcome difficulty, to succeed, and to make an impact in the world. As I always say, what is a world without immigrants? I cannot fathom it. So welcome again to the Immigrant Podcast. Dr. Adizes, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Me too. I am very, very excited, and I am so grateful that Sam decided to bring you to the show. Immigrants, my goal here is to have a conversation with our guests, to uncover untold stories, personal philosophies, and practical insights that will inspire and empower immigrants across the globe. This has been made possible by Medicab, a group of companies in Florida and Texas. Medicab is a non-emergency patient transport company, and they specialize in helping those who need transportation to their medical appointments. A great thank you to Team Medicab. Today, we are honored by Dr. Ichak Adizes. Dr. Adizes is an Israeli-American. He was born in North Macedonia, that's in Eastern Europe. As a Jewish child during the Second World War, he hid as a Muslim protection in Albania. There, after they survived the war, they found their way back to Israel. That story has been documented in the film entitled I Want to Remember, He Wants to Forget. 1948, Dr. Adizes and his family moved to Israel, where he served with the Israeli Defense Forces and eventually ended up in the USA at Columbia University. Today, he is recognized, listen to this, he is recognized the world over for the Adizes methodology. Dr. Adizes, welcome to the show. What is the difference between luck and success?
Before you continue, Martin, first of all, I'm impressed that you did your research, and you did a very good research. I mean, that shows sincere and honest professionalism.
Thank you, sir.
By the way, if the people want to know more about me, I just published a book, my memoir called The Accordion Player, From Fear to Love. And I think it's a very interesting story, which will complement what you're talking about. It's a story about how I, as a child, closed my heart during the Holocaust because I was afraid that anyone that I loved would get killed. I saw my grandparents, my uncles, get killed. So I said, oh my God, if I love somebody, he will die. So I closed my heart and I lived for 70 years of my life with a closed heart. I was afraid to love. And then the book shows how I opened my heart, and thanks God I'm in a stage where I can love and find love. So I think it's an interesting story in the book, The Accordion Player. And the movie documents something different, which is also very important, Martin. And it is, we usually look at people, we are scared of people. If they're different, they must be an enemy because they're different. So here I was in a Muslim family, and during the war, they was hiding us because we claimed to be Muslims escaping from Bosnia from a blunt revenge. So they would hit us not to get killed by other Muslims, but we were Jewish. And then 50 years later, 1995, we went back to the village. That's what the movie shows. It's a documentary movie, to thank that family for saving us. When we left in 1945, we did not tell them we are Jewish, so they will continue believing that we are Muslims. Now in 1995, when we came back with Israeli television documenting this whole thing, we found out that they knew all along that we were Jewish, and they were still saving us to save human beings. And so interesting, these Albanian Muslims, all Muslims, they're dangerous, they will cut your head off if you're not a Muslim. Not true. Many people that you believe are the enemy, you find out they're friends. You just don't know that they're friends because you treat them like an enemy, because they're different. Not anybody that's different is an enemy. And that was a lesson I learned. So these people saved us, that we are Jewish, because we were escaping for our life. And their role is, Albanian people have part of their religion. If anybody is under threat for his life, they have an obligation to save him. And at the end of the war, they were saving German soldiers who were escaping, for their life because the war was over. So they save lives. So not all Muslims are dangerous. Here it is Muslims that are not dangerous. So really, we should not have any bias. Because they're different, they're dangerous. Because they're different religions, they're no good. Not true. Every religion has good people. So we have to look at the reality and not to brand people because of their religion or because of their color or because of their ethnic group. Brand them automatically. That's not true. So these are the two things in reaction to what you said. Now, what's the difference between luck and success? Success is to get what you want. To get what you want is success. You define what you want and you work for it and you achieve it. Luck is to want what you got, which is just change of words. Instead of to get what you want, to want what you got. It just came to you, says, oh, lucky, I want that. You cannot rely on luck because you cannot predict it. You cannot control it. So relying on luck in life is not success. And I think that has to do something with management. I have a businessman, very successful businessman, my client, and he said, you know what, a lot of my success I attribute to luck. I said, not so, because very often luck shows up and you don't see it. You don't even realize that you're lucky. It passes you. Why you don't see it? Because you're so busy with your internal conflicts, with your internal problems, your eyes turn inwards, you don't see luck is in front of you. Many companies have opportunities they miss. Luck brought them opportunities they miss. Why? They're busy internal fighting with their partners, fighting with their workers, fighting with the next department next door. They don't see the opportunity. They don't exploit the luck. So it's really not luck. Are you ready to take advantage of luck? Are you ready to take advantage of opportunities? Which means the secret of success is success. To get what you want. To be ready to take advantage of opportunities.
So I'm very excited. I really am, because I was researching you and looking at the things that you believe in and what you represent in life. The significant change you've had in business and in society is immeasurable. And in that, I wanted us to walk through the reason why we created the Immigrant Nation podcast. And really, it was for us to spend time with immigrants who have enjoyed what they believe to be success for themselves and the path they walked through life, so that those of us who are still running the race can learn very quickly from their insights and adopt those insights and be able to get to a place where we can define our own luck in our own terms. Dr. Adizes, here's my question for you. What is the place an immigrant entrepreneur needs to be to recognize lack, and what is the action they need to take so that they do not let that lack escape them?
And Martin, maybe I will tell you something about myself, and that's where the insights come from experience, not by reading books. I came to the United States with $50 in my pocket. No permit to work. I was an illegal immigrant, you might call me. $50 in my pocket, a little suitcase, not suitcase, a bag on my left hand with my summer clothes, because in Israel we don't have winter clothes, it's not so cold. And in the other hand, I had an accordion, I played the accordion. I came here to America with a student exchange group for the summer. They left back to Israel, I stayed, because I wanted to study in America for my master and my doctorate. But I had $50 in my pocket. As I was standing on the corner of Broadway and 72nd Street with my accordion and my little bag of clothes, wondering what the hell do I do now? Because with $50, I could not even get a room in a hotel. What does it tell you? Courage. You believe you can make it. You believe you can make it. The moment you lose your belief, you're dead. It's not hope. Hope is, I hope God will help me. I hope. No. I believe I can make it. If my children did that, I'll beat the shit out of them, because are you crazy? With $50 in New York, you don't speak very good English. With a little accordion in your hand, with only sweater for the winter, what the hell are you doing? I believe. That is the first point.
This is the place most immigrants find themselves, Dr. Adizes. You know, some of us choose to cross the border illegally, and some of us choose to cross the border however we choose to cross the border based on the situation of where we are and where we're coming from. Some of us are escaping war, pandemics, on and on and on. There's reasons as to why we migrate to other nations, including pursuit of education and business and all that good stuff. But what is that driver that keeps the immigrant entrepreneur going on and on and on, even during tough times?
But, look, it's believe that you can get better life. Here the goal. You must have a goal. It's not just escaping the bad, but believing in the good. You have to believe that where you're going to is a better place than where you're running away from. My belief was I was not running away from anything. I believed that I can get a master's and doctorates in the United States, what I wanted to study. I will find a way. Now, my belief was based on dream. I had an accordion in my hand, and I believe with that accordion, if the worst happens, I will sit on the corner of the street, start playing, and somebody will give me some money. I believe I can do that. One way or another, I will wash dishes. I will do something. I believed in myself that I can do something. And I think the immigrants that are successful are those that believe. Elon Musk came to the United States as an immigrant too. He's from South Africa. But he believed. He still believes, the guy. He's doing things now that costing him a lot of money. He's losing billions of dollars because Tesla is going down the drain. But he believes he's doing something good for America. I think the secret here is to believe in yourself, and you believe that you can get something better than what you have.
So I want to say I disagree with you, but I can't, because I'm a believer, right?
No. I'll tell you to please disagree with me. I'll tell you why. I appreciate people that disagree with me, because I learn. Maybe I can learn something from you because you disagree. So tell me, what is it?
Okay, so I fundamentally do not disagree with me. I fundamentally agree with you, right? But I am trying to play the devil's advocate, because you said something really important, right? For me, personally, belief is not enough to drive you. Believe with what you said, a goal it will take you miles. So for those of us who are lost between what a goal is supposed to be and how to set a goal and how to pursue a goal, how do you drive a goal and a belief together? How do you put them in the same vehicle and then steer the ship?
You cannot have a belief without a goal. You believe in what? You believe you can reach a certain goal. I had a goal, which is my education. I think what I'm really saying, Martin, and I didn't say it, is The immigrants that will not succeed are the ones that play the victim game. Poor me, I'm this, I'm that, and then I deserve to get something because I am deprived and because I'm this and I'm that, and now let's burn some tires and they will give us something. That is not success, my friend,
Yes.
because you're not aiming to get somewhere and make yourself better. And America gives you a chance. Just go and do it. And there are going to be a lot of interferences, barriers, put downs, people. But you know what? Okay, look, the secret of success is not how little you fall. The secret of success is how fast you get up.
Absolutely.
We will all fall. We all fall. You fall, take a deep breath, get up, continue going. That's what I mean by believe that you can reach the goal. You don't let falling down, bury you or interfere with your moving forward. So the people that don't succeed are the people that play the victim game and they expect the external world to solve the problem for them rather than they solve the problem for themselves. There are going to be barriers. So don't bitch and moan. Attack the barrier. Go around the barrier. I'm Jewish. I want barriers too because I'm Jewish. So what? So what? We don't give up. Now, let me tell you something else. We sometimes don't achieve the goals ourselves. Our grandchildren do. Jewish people come to America from Russia, from wherever they were persecuted. No money, nothing, poverty. But they believe that children will be better. They work day and night in the textile industry, wherever they're working, but they send the kids to school. You better study. The kids become professors. The grandchildren become Nobel Prize winners. You see, the grandchildren are Nobel Prize winners. Look, ask him, who is the grandfather? He was working in a textile shop, at the minimum income. Grandparents. So what you really need to do is believe in yourself, and if you don't achieve it, make it sure that your children achieve it and your grandchildren achieve it. And that is, I think, the secret of success, to have a belief in the multi-generation even, whatever it takes, we will make it, and we don't play victims.
So I have to jump in here because this is important. You've deliberately set us up for this, right? And this is immigrant parents, right? We leave our home countries, we come to foreign countries with a goal, with a purpose, to make, really, the bottom line is to make our lives better. And sometimes that's not possible, especially in a family setup where, say, for example, a single mom, a single dad, or a family with children has to migrate or has migrated. And at certain points, you realize that family is dissected or separated, where the dad moves first or the mom moves and then the children follow, and on and on and on. In this very urgent society where things are moving very quickly, where change is happening rapidly, and where we have in the very present the presence of artificial intelligence that is very quickly changing the marketplace and very quickly changing how we face the workplace and how we face life. How should immigrant parents prepare their children so that they can remain competitive and relevant in the marketplace?
Before that, I want to react to the first sentence you had. We all have problems, Martin.
We do.
If you don't have problems, you're dead. If you have no problems, you're dead. What I do in my books, I say, the problem is not the problem you're looking at. That's not the problem. The problem is that you're doing nothing about the problem. That is the problem. I repeat. We said, this is the problem. Oh, I have this problem. I have this problem. Say, that's not your problem. Your problem is, what the hell are you doing about that problem? If you're doing nothing about that problem, that's your problem. Now, if you do something about the problem, it's not a problem. It's an opportunity. Why? You're learning something from that problem, how to overcome that problem. Every problem is an invitation to learn, to become stronger. So really, how you approach life is the secret of success. I have no problems. I tell people, how many problems do you have? I said, no. The reason why I'm successful is because I welcome problems. Every problem is an opportunity to learn and to become stronger. Whenever my children say, I said, what did you learn from it? If you didn't learn anything from it, you wasted your energy in solving the problem. What did you learn from it? So the next time, either you don't repeat the same problem, or you learn something that enriches you so you can avoid that problem. Many people, not just immigrants, they do not take charge. What they do, I think I lost you, here you are. What they do is they bitch and moan. I have a problem, they don't give me a chance. Look, the reason why you left your country, came here, is because you attacked the problem. You didn't agree with the problem. continue attacking the problem. Continue attacking the problem. And that, I think, I know some immigrants that are very successful, black as well. So what? It is what you do with it. How you attack. Every problem is an opportunity. In the Chinese language, they don't have a name for problem. The word problem and opportunity is the same word. So I translated it to English. We don't have problems, we have threats. Everything is an opportunity or a threat. Depends how you look at it. Some people look at it and say, oh, I have problems. Some people look at the same thing and say, oh, I have opportunities to learn and to become stronger. It's all up to you. The success is up to you. Nobody will give you a success on a platter. You have to make that success.
Very interesting.
So can you repeat the end of, because I got interested in the beginning of your comment and I missed the end of the comment. So what was the last question you had?
You lost me. I have since moved on. And
okay,
so because I've since moved on, we will start from where I am. Okay. I'll go back to the question eventually. I want to go back to your past because it's really, really important for us to understand the gentleman you are today was at one point a boy. And that boy learned to make tough decisions, and those decisions have gotten you to where you are today. This is why you're a guest today, right? Because you have impacted society. And so in your childhood, music played a key role in helping you be able to learn the world and overcome certain situations. Walk us through the role of music in your life, in consideration that somebody said that looking back in life, I can see the dots of what I have done over the period of time, and those dots, when aligned, they have defined who I am today. So walk us through your dots of life.
Sure. No. Okay, look. Most of my life, I was a stranger. I did not belong. I felt a stranger. Age of 5 to age of 8, I was in Albania, a Jewish boy hiding as a Muslim. I was a stranger. I came to, at the end of the war, to Serbia, and I was double stranger. I was Jewish and Albanian. I mean, they didn't accept me. They beat me up. Then I came to Israel, and I was a stranger again because I was Jewish, but I was not a Sabra. I was not a real Israeli. I was an immigrant Israeli who did not speak Hebrew and had an accent, and I looked strange because after the war, I was very thin, I was starving, basically I was starving. I was even swollen. So I was strange in Israel. I was a strange kid in Israel too. Then I came to America. I didn't speak English. I was strange again. But then I realized I'm a strange in every single place, but I belong to every place because I'm free of any limitations who I am. I feel at home in every country I work. I worked in 52 countries as a consultant. Now, how did it happen? Because you're asking me about the music. Because I was a stranger, I was trying to find out how can I join, how can I be part of? And I found it with music. I never learned accordion playing because I didn't have money for teachers. I learned playing by following my hearing. And now I play, but not perfectly. In other words, the great chords, I play simple from my heart, with all my heart. And people know it. Because when I play, people say my facial expression changes. I change. I totally let go and I let my heart play. And that impacts people, and they join me, and I make them sing. That my job is not to play for the people. I play for them to sing. I lead community singing. That's what I like. And at that point in time, I disappear. The people are singing. I'm there for them to sing, not for me. I don't perform. I start the song for them to sing. And now I unite them, and in uniting them, I unite myself with them. And that is how my methodology developed, my friend. I did not realize that. Only years later, looking back, I said, oh my God, that's what I'm doing. I'm not a consultant. I created a new field called organizational therapy. What is the difference? In consulting, I'm the doctor. I know better than you. You tell me your problem, and I will tell you the prescription what to do. That's called consulting. In therapy, you don't do that. You turn the chairs around, the tables around. I, the therapist, ask the questions. You, the patient, have to give the answers. So you discover what you should do by me asking the right questions, the right sequence. And I developed that for organizations. The way I help organizations is the same thing that I play the accordion. I start the music, they sing. It is their music, not my music. You see that? I make them sing. By opening my heart, I open their heart. That is a trick. So really, my music permeates as a methodology my profession as well.
I want us to talk about the Adizes methodology because it ties into what you just said. But before we talk about the Adizes methodology, let's talk about the heart, right?
Okay, let me tell you something very important about the heart, Martin. Very, very, very important. If you look about the history of mankind, of humanity, you discover something very interesting. At the beginning, we were chimpanzees, if you believe in Darwinism. The strongest chimpanzee was a leader. Then we became a nomadic society. The strongest hunter was the leader. Then we became an agricultural society. The person with most cows and sheep or land was the leader. What is a common denominator? Muscle, power, possession. Then came the Industrial Revolution. And what developed now? The brain. Muscles were not good enough. Now you have to plan and organize and raise money and sell. Brain. That's why the colonialists were so powerful, because they had the muscle and the brain. And that is why all these developing countries from which we immigrate to America, they don't have one thing, brain. What does it mean, brain? Organization, entrepreneurship. They only have muscles. They know how to work the land and, work from morning till the night, and that's the end of it. They are stuck in the muscle world. They did not develop the intellectual part. It is common denominator to all developing countries. Because industrialization was not done by them. It was done by the colonialists who came from the outside, or the immigrants from the developed countries that did it. And the indigenous people had got stuck to be menial works using only their muscle. They don't use their brain, using only their muscle. Today we live in the brain world. Muscle is not so important. We know why? We hire the Indians to do the work. We hire the Chinese to do the work. Or we export work, menial work to others. Secret of success is brain. Look at Israel. 63% of Israel is desert. Israel is an economic powerhouse. What? Brain. Now look, today, artificial intelligence, high techs. It's not muscles, it's all brain. What is then? That brain is on its way out, Martin. What's going to replace it is artificial intelligence, quantum computers. You're not going to use your brain. You're going to say, hello Siri, what should I do? Hello ChatGPT, what do we don't do that. The computer is not going to tell us what to do.
Absolutely.
So what is the future, Martin? What is the future? Listen to me.
Yes.
The heart. If we do not listen carefully, I'm going to say it slowly. If we, humanity, do not develop the heart, and we stay with the brain and muscle, Nazi Germany was not a fluke in the history of mankind. It was an introduction to the future. Lots of brain, lots of muscle, no heart. Nazi Germany had it. They developed the nuclear bomb. They had the brain, they had the muscle, they didn't have the heart. And that is the future of humanity if we don't start developing the heart. Now, what is heart? Now I'm going to tell you this is a methodology. What is heart? Look, to make a long story short, because I have 26 books in 36 languages, so you can find my books in any language. To make good decisions, one single person cannot make all good decisions on every subject. Impossible. It's too complicated.
Absolutely.
So nobody is perfect. That's why the title of one of my books is The Ideal Executive, Why You Cannot Be One. So stop trying to be something you are not. So what do you need? You need a complementary team. A marriage is a complementary team.
Yes.
Different styles working together. You see the details, I see the big picture. Together we have a better decision. You see that? Complementary team. But whenever you have a complementary team, you're going to have conflict. In marriage, in a country, multiple cultures, everywhere. And that culture can be destructive. What makes it constructive? Why Yugoslavia, which had multiple nationalities, part, and Switzerland that has Germans, Italians, and French together, it should be a disaster. It's a thriving country. What makes it different is the word mutual respect. I recognize your right to be different. You don't have to be like me. I honor your difference. Why? Because you complement me. You do something I cannot do, and I do something you cannot do. So we respect each other. The moment there is no respect, like in Yugoslavia, it fell apart. Next, decisions have to be implemented. Making good decisions is not good enough. I have made a decision to go on a diet every day, so nothing happens. Decisions are not good enough. You have to implement the decision. To implement the decision, there are stakeholders, and they have different interests. Nothing happens. So in order to make implementation, you need common interest of the stakeholders. Wow, that's not easy, because everybody has his own interest. Now what the hell do you do? It can become destructive, stymie implementation. Or you made a decision to have a racing horse and deliver a camel, because the differences in interest change the decision. What will make it successful? If there is mutual trust. I trust that you will do your part, I will do my part, we work together for a common goal. So what is the secret of success of any system? Marriage, company, country. A culture of mutual trust and respect. And that's what made America big. Immigrants coming and they got accepted. They're different. Sky is the limit. Go do it. Mutual trust and respect. By the way, why are we going down? Because we are losing mutual trust and respect. We are losing the most important asset a system can have. Most important. Now, this methodology is how to develop mutual trust and respect in a company. How to change the culture.
Yes.
And we have success. Today, as a matter of fact, I'm looking at the watch. At 3 o'clock, I'm lecturing to a company. They're calling me back after 50 years. Because 50 years ago, I started with them. They're using my methodology. They went from 12 million to 6 billion. And the owner is still 100% owner because of the Adizes methodology. And what is it? Mutual trust and respect. Because when you have mutual trust and respect, you don't waste energy inside the company. When there is no mutual trust and respect, why is he saying it? What does he mean? What is he doing? A lot of internal rumors, suspicions, miscommunications, energy is being wasted. And energy is fixed. So energy that goes on internal fighting is not available for external fighting. Once we are at peace, we can fight the war. That's why who is successful as a human being, individual, who is self-trust and self-respect. So what happens when you have self-trust and self-respect? Your eyes turn out. You look at the world, you're ready to attack the world. When you have no self-trust, no self-respect, your eyes are turned inwards. You don't see what's going out there. You're fighting inside here. All your energy is going and wasted inside here. So what I do in companies, in organizational therapy, we do, I have a whole office and I have offices around the world. We turn the eyes from looking inside to looking outside. How? By cleaning up internal conflicts that emerge because of lack of mutual trust and respect. And we do it structurally, which is different from psychotherapy. Psychotherapy, we talk and we talk and we talk and we talk. I don't talk. I change behavior by changing the climate, the structure in which behavior occurs. I'm not telling you, get out of here. I just tell you it's raining. And what are you going to do? You're going to get out of here. In other words, I change the environment. And if you change the environment, behavior changes. What do we change? Redefine the organizational goal. Where are we? Where are we going? What are we trying to do? And it's not profit. Martin, it's not profit. It's a big mistake. Oh, we want to increase stock value. We want to increase... No. Your goal is to satisfy client needs. That's what you exist. Because if the clients are not happy, you're going to go bankrupt. So what the hell are you talking about?
That's right.
So next question is, who is a client? Who will cry when you die? Who needs you? If nobody needs you, then what the hell are you doing? Who needs you? That is your client. Now, next question, are you satisfying them? How? Are they coming back? The fact that this client of mine is inviting me 50 years later to speak for the company tells you something. I helped him, I did something that he values, that's why he's calling me back. If you have a store and nobody comes back to buy the second time, you're not doing very well. If you have a restaurant and the people don't come back, you're going to be bankrupt for sure. The secret of success that you're doing a good job is, are your clients coming back? So the first thing is to define, who is a client? Who do they want? Are we satisfying what they want? Are they coming back? Next, do we have a structure to deliver our goal? Maybe the structure is totally messed up and we are going in that direction rather than that direction. So we have to change that structure of the company to be going in the right direction. Next, do we have a discipline how to work together? For instance, it's forbidden to interrupt each other. If somebody interrupts me while I'm talking, he has to do push-ups. And if I interrupt him, I do push-ups. No interruptions. Let the guy speak. Let the people speak till the end. Don't raise your voice. Respect the other person. He has the right to think differently. So we train people how to manage meetings so they don't get at each other's throat. And the last one, choose the right people to lead the company. What is the right person? What makes the right leader, what makes a good leader, is not what you know, is what you are. Are you trustworthy? Are you respected? If they don't respect you and they don't trust you, I don't care how much you know, you're a bad leader. And this is the revolution I'm creating in the leadership training. We are training people to know. So they know marketing, they know strategy, they know financial planning, but they're a shitty leader because they cannot be trusted and nobody respects them. What the hell are you having there? So this is it. So if you're right, if you have people trustworthy, respectful, in the right organization structure, with common goals, and with a disciplined meetings, with mutual trust and respect, we go. We go from 12 billion to 6 billion. And I'm doing the same thing for countries. I'm trying now to help Israel. I'm not very successful. There is going to be no peace in the Middle East until we trust and respect each other.
Now that you touched a touchy button, I am going to push back just a little bit because now this is even more fun than I thought it would be.
Okay,
so when you have so much to ask on leadership, my goodness, we need to do this another day. Now, when you talk about leadership, right, where does a leader start looking to identify if they are the right leader for their organization?
Okay.
And let me just add on to that now that you've let that sink in, right? And I say that with respect to leadership in third world countries, or what I better call the developing nations.
Developing?
Yes.
So I don't understand. Now you gave me two things and I cannot connect them. So what is the question?
If I am a leader in my organization, how do I look within me to identify where I need to correct myself to become a better leader, a leader who utilizes heart to think?
So
and how does that apply to leaders who are leading developing nations?
You're talking about leaders of countries?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's start with this. In my book called Managing Corporate Life Cycles, for which I got 21 honorary doctorates. So this is a good book. I describe that a company, any system, country as well, marriage as well, have a life cycle. They're born, grow, age, and die. They don't have to die, but they usually do. And at every stage of the life cycle, they have typical problems for that stage of the life cycle. The problems can be normal, abnormal, or critical. And that's what the book is about. How to diagnose a company, what's normal, what's abnormal, what's critical, and what to do about it. Now, what I found out is what is a good leader changes depending where you're in the life cycle. To be a good mother, you have to really pay attention to the baby and to really take care of it 100%, you know. But if you continue with that kind of a style when the kid is 45 years old, that's not going to work. Your baby, a 45-year-old kid, you know, is going to run away.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you have to change how you parent depending how old are the kids. You change your style. You see, when they're babies and toddlers, a lot of love. When they're starting to become teenagers, you better become a policeman and put some discipline here because they're going wild. You see, you change your style. Same thing for a company. A startup company needs entrepreneurial spirit. It believes it can change the world, it's going to do it, and it's a dictator. A dictatorship is, that's right, a dictator, a driver, is a desirable style at the first stages of the life cycle. I'm not going to ask my 5-year-old kid, do you want to go to sleep? Go to sleep, end of the story. So when I start a company, I'm a dictator. Why? Because I don't know what I'm doing, so I better do what I'm telling you because I cannot, you're diverting my thinking. Now you have to change your style as the company gets to the adolescent stage of the life cycle. You have to change your style when you get to prime. And now you have to get back the entrepreneurial spirit because otherwise you're going to start aging, you're losing innovation. But it's a different type of entrepreneurship. Startup entrepreneurship is I'm a dictator. Here, entrepreneurship, I build an entrepreneurial spirit in the company. It's a different. So what is the right leader? I don't know. Tell me, where are you in their life cycle? Now, developing countries are at the beginning of their life cycle. So it's normal they will have a dictator. It's normal. The only problem is that some of these dictators are corrupt. Here's the problem. So what is the right leader for developing nations? A leader that believes, has values, knows where he wants to take the country, and makes it happen. Who will that be? the leader of Singapore. That is my example. The father of Singapore, strong. It was his way or no way, but he had values. He know where he wants to go, and what he created, a country with mutual trust and respect. You're not allowed to say to somebody, you're Chinese. We are all Singaporeans. I was consulting to the president of Kazakhstan, Nazarbayev, and the Kazakhs, because that's why it's Kazakhstan, are running the country. And I said, you know what? But you have 2 million Russians on the border. If they're not Kazakhstanis, they're going to join Russia like the Russians in Ukraine, and there's going to be no more Kazakhstan. You have to change the name, not of the country, of the people in that country. They're all called Kazakh, not Kazakhs. They're called Kazakhstanis. And I'm a Russian Kazakhstani, I'm a Kazakh Kazakhstani. That's what happened in Yugoslavia. That's what Tito did. I'm a Yugoslav. I'm not Serbian. I'm a Yugoslav. I'm a Yugoslav. And the moment they changed that, they say, no, I'm a Serb. No, I'm a Croat. The whole thing fell apart. So a good leader for developing countries is strong, opinionated. Why? Because he has a belief, he has a goal, and he has values. And what are the right values? Mutual trust and respect.
Those values apply in government, they apply in corporate, but do they apply in an immigrant's home?
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. See, let me tell you something. What happens to immigrants? They come in, family, lot of difficulties. Now we have to decide what to do. Conflict starts, and the families fall apart. Families fall apart. The whole trick is we are not going to fall apart. We trust each other. We respect each other. We believe together we find a solution. Don't let conflicts split you apart. Make conflicts as an opportunity to strengthen your unity. That is the secret of success. Copy the Jewish nation. Look at them. They're a nation of 2,000 years of immigrants. 2,000 years of constantly moving from country to country. Keep it together. Two different ways. A family together, the community together around the synagogue. And they help each other. The trick of success for immigrants is togetherness in the family, in the community. Because when you're alone and we fight, we fall apart. We cannot make it.
In your view, Dr. Adizes, what unique strengths should immigrants embody to bring to the business world, and how can they leverage these assets for a successful career, a successful lifestyle?
Let's start from the beginning. What is an asset that immigrants have? What is asset? What are you going to capitalize on? What are you going to rely on for you to move forward? I believe immigrants have a big asset. Look at some of the most successful companies in America. They were built by children of immigrants. Who is Zuckerman? A son of a Jewish family. Immigrants. Who are the founders of Google? Immigrants from Russia. Look at them. What happened here? Who are immigrants? Immigrants are people that are willing to take chances, take risks, and go forward. I call them entrepreneurial in spirit. Those that are not willing to take chances stay in the country and continue suffering. The people that leave are the people who say, I'm not going to live with this, I'm going to make something different. So that's what they call, they're really willing to take risks, and they have belief. That's your risk. So you come to this country, don't lose that. You can do something. You can do something. Don't be just, I have 2 people working in my ranch here. Immigrants. They never went beyond selling their muscles. Do something. Do something. And you can. And if not you, your children. Maybe you cannot. Maybe it's too late for you. But your children can. Invest in their education. Eventually they will make it. So the whole trick, I think, here is not to lose entrepreneurial spirit, to attack the uncertainty, to develop something, to build something, rather than just sell your muscles. Most immigrants said, look at some immigrants. You put the Chinese in America, before you know it, they have a laundromat. Before you know it, they have a Chinese restaurant. Now I'm going to ask the people from Africa, what did you build since you came to America? What did you build? Show me something you built, something new that you created. Same thing with the Japanese. Bring the Japanese here. Before you know
That's
it,
a painful question.
My dear friend, the only way...
I am African, and that dug into my heart. That's painful.
Martin, listen to me, Martin.
Yes, sir.
Problems are like shadows. Run away from shadow, it chases you. Turn around, attack the shadow. The shadow will run away from you. Turn around, my friend. Turn around. By the way, I designed the health delivery system of Ghana. You have a lot of incredible people. You do. But what you need to do is do. What should I do? Do. Nobody is going to give it to you. I've used for you. Nobody is going to give it to you. Do. Start something. Not alone. Community. Together. And you will, there's no reason why you cannot. You have it. You really do have it. The blacks have it no less than the Japanese or the Chinese. As a matter of fact, the Japanese don't have it at all. They have no entrepreneurial spirit. They are very well organized, they are very packed, but they have unity. We, the blacks, don't have unity. We have unity how to do something against. What you should do it, unity how to do something not against, but together. That is, I think, the trick. What are we going to build together? And the successful one should be the leaders to bring you guys together. Some of you guys, but the blacks are very successful people. What is Ofra doing for the black people? What kind of a community of black people is she building together to advance them? What's the name of that music director? Was a good, he used to do yoga with me. I forgot his name now. The one that was a producer for Michael Jackson. Again, where are they? Where are the black leaders building a community of black people to advance them together? That's what we need. Copy the Jewish people. Copy the Jewish people. There is a reason why they're successful. They're not alone. They're always a community.
What is the model? What is the model? Again, I'm playing the devil's advocate here. I have spent quite a bit of time to study the Jewish culture and the Jewish people. So I understand where you're going with this. But for the purposes of the audience, please, what is that we need to copy as a community of immigrants from Africa, as a community of immigrants from the Caribbean, as a community of immigrants from any subjective minority group that has migrated anywhere else? What is that about the Jewish that we need to replicate so that we can be competitive and successful at the same time?
Two things: community and education. Total dedication to education. Total dedication.
So the education marketplace is changing, Dr. Adizes, and it's changing because of AI. So walk us through your consideration in reflective of how AI is changing that playground.
For me, the difference is in the past, the success is how much you know. Today, whatever you know becomes obsolete before you say good morning.
It
so
does.
What is the secret of success? So what the secret of success is to have a lifelong learning. Lifelong learning. You're constantly open to learn and learn and learn. You don't stop. When I got my PhD, thanks God, my chairman looked at me when I gave him my dissertation and he gave me the certificate. He says, now, Dr. Adizes, this is not the end. This is the beginning. Now, constantly learn. I was once interviewed, like you now, by Israeli radio. And the guy says to me, now, Professor Adizes, that you're so successful, what's your wishes for next year? And I told him, I wish that next year I will say, everything I said today is right. Next year I will say it's wrong. And he looked at me and says, what do you mean? I said, I learned something new.
Of change.
Nothing is right. So it's lifelong learning. I'm 87 years old, Martin. I'm still learning. And I'm afraid I'm going to die before I finish everything I want to know. It is so, the trick here is, I got my certificate, I'm done. No. In the Business Institute, when you get the certificate, it writes down there, it's not you graduated. You're allowed to continue learning. Never graduate. You never graduate. Continuously learning. In the Jewish culture and religion, you constantly relearn the Bible. You constantly learn the religion. You have discussions about it. You always claim you don't know enough. Listen to me. An ignorant person that believes he's wise is ignorant because he stopped learning. Eventually what he knows will become obsolete. A wise person is one who believes he's ignorant. Oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God, I don't know. So you're constantly learning. So you need to create a culture with you guys, like Americans, to accept I'm ignorant and I better become wise. Which means constantly learning. And not only from school, my friend. School is a limited amount of learning. Learning from life, constantly opening your life. When my children were very young, very small, usually you read them stories, right? Before they go to sleep. I did something different. I would sit next to their bed and said, what did you learn today? If they said, I didn't learn anything new today, I said, oh my God, you wasted your life. Every day, what did I learn? So that's one secret. Education. Not education to know. Education to know how much you don't know. And willingness to continue learning. Constantly changing. And the second one is community, I said. We are one, we help each other. I'm Jewish. If I'm in trouble, and I was in Uruguay, I was just in Uruguay last 2 weeks. I went to the Jewish synagogue there. I said, guys, I need some help here. What happened? They immediately helped me. What do you need? I am coming all the way to Uruguay, where God said good night. I mean, so far. You go to the synagogue, you will get help. We help each other. We live together. If we don't do that and we don't learn, you're alone and ignorant and you want to be successful. Good luck.
Dr. Adizes, walk us through the methodology of building a powerful, successful community, especially among entrepreneur organizations.
Now you touch my nerve. It's your turn, because I'm struggling with that. What am I struggling with? If you remember 10 minutes ago, I told that if we don't develop the heart, if we don't develop love, we are doomed as a humanity. We're going to destroy the environment and destroy each other. Nuclear war is going to happen, not whether it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen. Now, what is love? For years I've been saying there is no love without mutual trust and respect. I love you, but I don't respect you. Doesn't work. I love you, but I don't trust you. Doesn't work. So we need to develop mutual trust and respect. And that's what I've been doing for 50 years. And last year I discovered, oh my God, not good enough. Love is not only mutual trust and respect. It's also compassion. Compassion. Now, what is compassion? That's what I'm struggling with. And how do you develop compassion? I just yesterday saw a homeless guy in front of my supermarket, and it's a sign, testing your compassion. How do you develop compassion? Because if you don't have compassion, there is no love. There is no community. There must be compassion. How do you develop it? I don't know. In the Jewish religion, there are ways like you're supposed to do something anonymously. The donations by the religious Jewish people is done anonymously. Because the moment you put your name, you're expecting something in return. The moment you do it anonymously, you do it with compassion. I do it because I love you and I won't expect anything in return. And when you work the land in the Jewish religion, 1/10 of the land you're not supposed to harvest. You're leaving it unharvested so poor people can go and find food. And you don't know who they are, you don't know who got it. It's called compassion because it's anonymous. How do you develop that? The Jewish religion does it because it's a religion. God said to do it, so you do it. But if you are not religious, how do you develop that compassion? That's what I'm struggling with now. Because unless we develop compassion and mutual trust and respect, we are not developing love, and if we don't develop love, we are doomed. So we ask me, how do you develop a community for the Afro-Americans? Find people that have compassion, set up an example. Maybe that's the way. Start somewhere. Start somewhere.
Your writing often touches on themes of love, trust, respect on both personal and professional context. So here is my question for you. How do we get to places where our values of leadership are influence the marketplace we go into by interacting, and how do we apply that in a very interactive, diverse community?
Say it again. Say it again.
Your writing often touches on themes of love, trust, and respect. And I'm going to try and simplify this in both personal and professional context, if you may. Here's my question. How have these values influenced your leadership style and interactions with diverse teams, and how should we apply that in the marketplace?
Sure. How did it implemented me personally?
Absolutely.
In other words, the question is, am I walking my talk? That's the question. Let me say,
I like how you simplify that.
Yeah, by the way, my whole methodology is very simplified. You can read my book in one evening. And it's very simple. I rewrite my books 35 times until my 10-year-old kid understands it. Why? Because if it's not simple, it's too complicated. If it's too complicated, you cannot implement it. It has to be so simple. That's why the academic world does not respect me enough. Or not. They give me 21 honorary doctorates, okay. But you know why? Because I'm too simple. They tell me your books are too simple. And I say it's not simple, it's simplified. It takes me years and years and years and years to finally understand it. Then it's simple. But making it simple is very complicated. And it's very complicated to make simple things complicated. Very simple to make simple things complicated. And it's very complicated to make complicated things simple. So it is simple. Somebody told me something very interesting. He says, Dr. Adizes, tell me what you teach and research, and I will tell you your dysfunctionality. Is absolutely right. As an outsider, I always felt disrespected. As an outsider, I felt mistrusted. And that's what I struggled for 50 years. How do I develop trust and respect? I was struggling with myself by working on others. And I healed myself by healing them. By healing them, I healed myself. You see that?
Yes.
So I was not in a vacuum. I was not in a vacuum. So, and now I want to develop compassion. So I don't know how to do that. That's the next step. Because you cannot have love without compassion. Interestingly, now we have compassion to our children. They're our children. Because it's natural. You want to have survivability of the species, you want a continuation. But how do I go beyond my wife and my children to have compassion? How do I have compassion to my neighbor? How to have compassion to somebody totally different I don't even know? I don't know, but that's the next subject. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm trying now, for instance, I have in my wallet a lot of single dollars. Why? I made myself a point. Any homeless I come across, I give him $1. Period. No question. So I'm trying to develop it.
Why?
I think
why,
it's time.
Dr. Adizes, why? Please, I know you have to go, but we have to answer this one question, please. Why $1? Why not 10? Why not 100? And why give anyways?
Well, let's start from that. Why give anyway? Compassion. Don't forget, I was hungry too. I remember what it means to be hungry, my friend. I was hungry, by the way, 4 times in my life. And the last time I was hungry, I was starving. I was put in the hospital and fed intravenously. I almost died. I know what it means to be hungry. So I feel compassion for these people on the street. Maybe they're taking the money for drugs. I don't care. Drug is not a criminal problem. It's a mental problem. So I'm punishing him for having a mental problem. What the hell am I doing? So that's okay. Now, why 1 and not 100? Very good question. Very good question. Why not 1,000? I don't know. That's what I'm struggling to. Because because you see, I was poor. I was poor in my life. And because of that, I watch money. Although I have enough, I really, truly, I'm one of the best paid consultants in the world. I think I am. They pay me a fortune for my mind, for my capabilities. And I still treat myself like I don't have any money. I'm going to die tomorrow from starvation. Change is not so easy.
Dr. Adizes, thank you so much for making the time for immigrants across the globe. I am just getting started. Can you come back again, please?
What I really need from you is to send me promise me to send the video.
Absolutely. My team will get back to you with this.
I want to put it on my public, what's called social media network, because it was a very good interview, and I want to congratulate you, Martin, for asking the right questions in the right sequence and really illuminating me by asking the good questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Listen, immigrants, you had it from Dr. Adizes. He's talked about his experience living as a boy and his experience as an 87-year-old. And what has not changed in our conversation is passion and consistency. He's remained very vulnerable to all of us by saying, I am still struggling with understanding what giving looks like and what taking can be. Remember, success is a journey. And when you think you've gotten there, you are starting again. Go ahead, doctor.
I hope that people will benefit. I hope that this video will help some people develop the right attitude about life, because that's where the change starts. All the best. Thank you, Martin. Send me the video. And
thank you very much.
Make a list of my books. Show people my books. By the way, most people do not know how to spell my name. They should go to Google and see all my books, and they're welcome to start studying. They study my books. They will get a lot out of it. All the best.
Thank you. We will be putting all the links for you on our show, and we want to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for making the time for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Right? If there is no data, you can't do much. So what it takes is ability to understand the use case and the solution that you can build, which actually adds value. Build out those solutions and use cases, and then you can build companies around it, right? So yeah, world of data changed to a data-driven world because the solutions are driven and based on data. But you can't sell just data. You can't just sell analytics. You have to sell a solution.